welcome in everyone to this special edition of Coffee, Bible, and Questions. But we're not doing Bible and Questions tonight so much. We are interviewing a very special friend of mine, a very special guest. I'm going to bring him up on screen here. It is the amazing and wonderful Dirain. Here he is. Hey, Dirain, what's up? How's it going tonight?
I'm here. It's going well. How about you guys?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How about everybody here in the chat with us tonight? We got Kaminor, we got Johnny Island Studios, aka Johnny the Epic, because he is an epic human being. And oh, Dirain himself. What do you know? Oh,
Funny how that works.
yeah. So, anyways, Dirain uh has joined a ministry part-time and is hoping to go full-time. So I've invited Dirain here to... Oh, Johnny Island Studios just followed the channel. Thank you, man. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you so much. Now there's a heart all over my face. But anyways. So, Dirain, I would love to hear about this ministry of yours. You haven't gotten the chance to actually present this to me, even though you have shared it to me on an informal basis. So I'm excited to hear what you have to share. And I heard that you want to talk a little bit first before we jump into the main stuff.
Yeah, I've got some stories I want to share, but I like to start with asking you a few questions. So, are rhinos your favorite animal? Is that how you got your name?
No,
Discord name?
no, it is not.
No,
Nope,
rhinos are
nope.
pretty cool though.
I've just always wanted a nickname, and Rhino sounded like it would be cool. So there's that. And then if you put Mealer on the end, it sounds like milling wheat. And you have the prayer of Jesus to like ask the Lord of the harvest and he to send out more workers into his harvest field. And so I'm like, Rhino mealing wheat out in the harvest field, it sounds like a great thing. So
A
yeah.
rhino treading wheat. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And friends, if you guys have questions for Dirain at any point, please put them in the chat. We will get to them. So do be thinking about what questions you might have for him. I will have a link here to support Dirain if you would like to. So I'll go ahead actually and put that in the chat now. It's !Dirain if you want to support him financially. But the biggest thing that you can do is pray for him. So
Absolutely. I need as
yeah,
much prayer as you can manage.
yeah.
All valuable.
I'll let you continue.
See if we can get your chat involved. Where did the screen name Kaminor come from?
Yeah, where did that come from, Kaminor? Where did it come from? Where'd you get that name? I think I know where it came from, but I might be wrong. Might be wrong.
So while we're waiting for that, what do you do for a living?
I used to draw blood. I just about said I draw blood. I used to be a vampire. I told my patients that I was a vampire at night and a pastor during the day. They loved it. So now I'm a lab tech. Now I'm a lab technician. Welcome in, Valerian. You're just getting in on the introduction, so yep. Valerian, you have to share where your name came from. Your Discord name or your Twitch name. We need it. Cameron is actually Kaminor's name, but the character's name is Kaminor. Same letters, different order. And it's from the book Earth King. It's a character in the book. Okay.
Book Earth King.
Oh, your brother wrote this book. Okay.
Published it, or?
Yeah, is it published? Is it, or self-published at least?
Can I read it?
Oh, he wants to read this, and I have a kid in the background being like, "Whoa, whoa!" and he doesn't even know what Dirain's saying.
So you enjoy the lab tech work? What's that like? That you're not drawing blood anymore, so you just sticking vials in a machine and getting numbers back out of it, or
Basically, that's for the most part what's going on. So, yep. Um, I need to disable that so you can post it. So I will do that for you here shortly. But yes, I do enjoy being a lab tech for the most part. Sometimes it can be stressful. But my favorite part, honestly, is working with the people that I work with and just building friendships with them, that kind of thing. That's my favorite part. So I'm gonna log
yeah,
in.
I imagine you're
Yeah.
pretty good at that.
Yep. So many good conversations with coworkers and good laughs too. I mean,
That's important.
I made
Yeah.
a song with AI the other day about parafilm. And I made
Which
a
tool?
song, huh?
Which tool are you using? Is it Sona or whatever?
I used ChatGPT to make lyrics, and then I told Gemini to make me a 30-second song.
Ah, all right.
So it was kind of fun. And there was another
And
song
that's
I
for
did,
the
but it's not stream appropriate. Because I would have to go into detail as to what a wet prep is if you don't know what that is. So, anyways, we're not going there. Not going there tonight. I'm gonna change this. Okay, you should be able to post that link now, Kaminor. I just disabled Nightbot from destroying your links. Valerian's name came from a cartoon from long ago called Valerian and Laureline. And there is
what
that
is that
link. That's the question. What is that about? What is that about, Valerian? So you better save that link, Dirain, so you can read about Kaminor in the Chronicles of something, Earth in the Chronicles of the Earth King.
I will definitely check it out. So how's your family doing these days?
My family is doing great, honestly, for the most part. I mean, we're going through some stressful times right now, honestly, though. Uh, I say great in that we're very thankful. Trying to think here. My bride has a dermatologist appointment in April, and we are awaiting the news of what that means and how it might affect our lives right now. So we're putting a lot of trust in God right now and trying to focus on the positive. In fact, at the supper table, we were talking about how God might use it. At my workplace right now, there's just a lot of little tiny stressful things coming up. It, it all accumulates to one big ball of stress. And it's like, I don't have the time to stress about little things, you know? In the grand scheme of things, we could have bigger things to trust God about, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Valerian says it's a silly story involving space, odyssey, and time travel. This cartoon that his name came from.
I'm also intrigued.
You might have to look that one up too.
I might. I might. So last time I was over there, I had to draw about 1,000 fish. Is that still a thing?
You had to draw about 1,000. Oh, for my sons?
Yeah. He
He
kept
still
wanting me to
loves to
draw fish.
draw. He's been doing a lot of school lately, where tracing the letters and stuff. I haven't seen him draw so many fish. He's big
Okay.
into, well, right now he's watching Ice Age. So,
Nice. All
yeah.
right.
Yep.
There's no fish in there, but there's a sloth.
So, yep, there is a sloth in that movie. Yep, indeed.
Where are you guys in the Bible story book that you were going through?
We are actually following along with the XP Church Bible reading plan for the most part. So we're in First Kings. So when I get on here in the mornings and read at 8:30 EST, I'm reading in First Kings with XP Church, but then in the evenings I'm getting out our Bible storybook, and I'm also reading from First Kings to the boys and trying to stay approximately where we're at with the church. It kind of keeps the entire family on pace with where the church is. I feel like it's a great disciple making opportunity. And my son, if he wakes up early, he'll come here and sit close to me. And here comes Corey with a raid. Corey the crew.
Oh,
Thank you,
well,
man. Thank you for coming. He told me he was going to do that. So,
I appreciate
welcome
it.
in, Corey. Welcome, 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 welcome. You're just in time. Dirain has not started sharing about his ministry yet. He's been catching up with us. So, we're. How did you decide to name yourself the Corey Crew? What led to that change? And there's River. Hey,
Hey, River, how you doing?
River, first time chatter.
You got actually named after a river?
That's the question. How did you get the name River? And then we got Simcha Joy, my bride.
Are those stories starting to stick? Can you
Are
tell
the
them being comprehended or?
are the stories starting to stick with my boys?
Yeah,
I generally will repeat the same story over and over until we move on to the next one. Numbers stick really good for Sugar Bear. They stick extremely well for him. He remembers numbers.
that's really cool.
River says, I am, though I made it different since I'm a guy. Laugh out loud. Nice.
It's a name I remember and see often. So good
Why
name.
did you call yourself the Corey Crew, Corey? Dirain has been asking everybody that question. Why'd you call yourself the Corey Crew? Because it used to be Corey. Now it's the Corey Crew. What changed? Yup, yup, yup. Oh, that's because it's me and 7 kiddos. There you go.
That is definitely a crew.
We got a family guy in the chat.
You might be able to staff an entire ship with that.
Wait, you've been here before, River, and you didn't tell me? You sneaky son of a duck. Goodness. You snuck in here. You've been lurking this entire time. That is hilarious. Love you, brother. You're a good man.
So, what have you guys found to enjoy in your free time? So, how do you play these days? I know we did some disc golf while I was there. Have you managed to get out
Yeah,
and do that?
I mean, we've been out and done some disc golf. A lot of the free time lately has been playing How to Train Your Dragons in Minecraft, which has been a blast.
Have you
So
managed to train
that's
a
pretty great.
dragon yet?
I'm afraid not. I am afraid not.
Uh,
We're
Too much
trying
killing?
trying to set up some farms for a lot of raw meat to train these dragons.
Steps
Oh,
in the process.
River is a pro lurker, semi-pro, he says. And my bride says lurking is the best sometimes. It gets you all kinds of perks
Trying
in the
to figure out how
background.
you get professional at lurking.
Yeah.
Pay you somehow?
Well, once I raided, I think it was the Flat Cap Dapper Pastor, and when I came back in the evening, I was watching a ferret stream. I was lurking in a ferret stream. I did not see any ferrets in the stream, but there was like 180 people watching looking for ferrets that I could not see. How does that happen? Friends, how does that happen? I don't know.
Raid into raid into raid, I guess.
Yeah, say Flat Cap Dapper Pastor 5 times as fast as you can, Dirain.
Flat cap dapper pastor, flat cap dapper pastor, flat cap dapper pastor, flat cap dapper pastor,
Yeah.
flat cap dapper pastor.
Was that 5 or 6? I don't know.
I think it
I'm decent.
wasn't very fast, but
Oh, anyways.
so is the dragon mod a pretty decent one, or are you thinking you're going to move on to one of the other mods pretty
Oh, I'm
soon?
enjoying it. It's probably going to be our family mod pack where we play Minecraft. So playing that and then also working on the side a vanilla Minecraft server that I'm hoping to launch in May. is the hope and the plan
How
and
is
the dream.
vanilla more difficult to launch than?
Oh, it's not. I just have a time frame.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's Phoenix. Welcome in, Pastor Influence's amazing bride.
Welcome. So I've got some more complicated questions for you. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready. Shoot.
How do you think the American church is doing at meeting the Great Commission?
You know, that's hard to answer. Uh, I would imagine that some of the church is doing very well, and I would imagine that some of the church is not. There, that it's a very complicated question.
It is a
Uh,
complicated question.
I will say this: I hope to see more multiplication and disciple making in the church. I do hope to see that, and there's a lot of people that are hoping and praying for that.
Definitely
So,
a thing to.
and just like people, the church isn't perfect. So, I do see a lot of positive things happening in XP Church, and hopefully, you see a lot of positive things happening in your church where you're at locally, Dirain. So,
I do. My church is growing rapidly, and it's fun to
yeah,
watch. But
awesome.
we have some things that we're working on too.
Yeah.
I've just gotten some mentorship from one of the elders there, just to be under somebody, so that eventually I can hopefully be over some
Mm-hmm.
people.
Yep.
Um, I just suddenly noticed that I'm middle age in my church, which means I can't, in my mind, can't be a consumer of church anymore. I have to be an investor in it. That was quite a mind breaking moment. It's like,
Yep.
oh wait, what do I need to be doing? How am I training people up? So yeah, it's been fun to see. What do you view as your role in meeting the Great Commission?
Uh, the role that I see myself in is as an equipper. I want to help other people in my XP group learn to lead their own XP groups or do whatever it is that God puts on their heart to do. Uh, so like a lot of my time throughout the week gone on my way to work and on my way back is spent connecting with people in my XP group and just checking on them, seeing them, shooting the breeze sometimes, but sometimes talking very serious things about life and disciple making, leading XP groups, that kind of thing. So I'm just out there encouraging people like go do disciple making, like go spend time with people one on one and uh, talk about Jesus, become more and more like him, and go and do the same thing with other people. That's how I see myself, and hopefully that's a reality and not like a not just me like saying that's what I want to be.
Well, chat, how well is he doing at this?
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
Got a fair question. I'm sure.
Oh,
What do
I've
you think is like the biggest obstacle to
uh
meeting those Great Commission needs that you're interested in and working on meeting?
the biggest obstacle to disciple making.
Yeah.
The biggest obstacle to disciple making is ourselves. And
Yourself.
I'm not kidding.
Please elaborate.
You gotta
If that
get.
was the biggest problem, then we just get rid of you and we'd be okay.
Oh,
There's got
oh,
to be
you know,
more.
you're almost right. So you gotta like get out of the way and let God work. I mean, get down on your knees and pray, for goodness sakes. Like he's the one that's moving in people's hearts, and he's the one that's putting it on people's hearts to go and make disciples of all nations. He's the one putting it on people's hearts to be a friend to somebody that doesn't have a friend. Hey, Dirty Bubble, welcome in, welcome in. I have lost track of everything that is going on in the chat. We got so much going on. River says XP Cat 10 years and Lux Digital 5 years. Is that how long, River, that you've been lurking? I think XP Church maybe is what he meant to say.
I have to know where the dirty bubble name came from. I need to know.
I got stories about Dirty Bubble. So he popped into one of my streams before I was doing Rhino Mueller's stream, and his little icon popped up on the screen, and he was doing like this in a mirror. It was pretty great. So he's got some muscles.
I hope I have some eventually. I can finally see them from being in the gym for a year, but they're not show worthy.
Dirty Bubble and I have actually worked together. He's a really good guy. We actually talked briefly on my way home from work today. Um, and he's in my XP group. He's an amazing, wonderful guy. I love how he oftentimes stops on the way home at the church to pray. And I think that's just awesome.
Awesome. That's
All right.
great.
River says no, he's been with XP Church for 8 of the 10 years. XP Church is 10 years old and Lux is 5 years old this month. Okay. Yes, you do hear the little man, Corey. There is multiple little mans down here. One over there watching Ice Age and the other one down here bouncing. So yeah.
So when you break through yourself, I guess,
Yeah.
um, the greatest obstacles that are holding you back from ministry, what do you see as the rewards for that? What have you
The
experienced rewards for that?
the rewards for that, and I should clarify, when I say that you need to get out of the way, I mean like you got to let go of power. You got to let go of the desire to keep people to yourself and build something big. And you have to entrust leadership to other people. If that means somebody takes over your XP group, then that's what you do. If that means that you need to pray more, then that's what you do. If that means that you close down a small group so that somebody else will start a new group, that's what you do. If it means that you become an assistant leader and humble yourself and not be the leader, that's what you do. So the rewards from that is seeing other people fully use their gifts in the kingdom of God and even become something more than you can ever be. That's the benefits.
That's awesome. Can you put scripture up on the stream easily?
We can put scripture in the chat pretty easily. I don't have it set up on the screen very easily. Will that work?
Corey was asking what the Great Commission was. So the end of Matthew,
Okay.
if you're able to put it up.
Do you remember the reference? It's like Matthew 28. I want to say 16 through 20, but I'm not good with numbers. Let me look. Matthew 28, 18 through 20. I will get that up there.
Because it really starts with 16.
Okay. Well,
Just the
you want me to
context.
change it?
Oh, might as well, if you
All
don't
right.
mind.
28, 16 through 20. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. This is the last thing that Jesus said to his disciples before he went back to heaven, the ascension.
Yep,
This
y'all.
is one of the core places that we get the idea that ministry is important and that we are supposed to be making disciples,
Right.
then make more disciples. And so my ministry is related to that. So that's why I'm asking questions.
Awesome.
But,
So is this your pathway into this? Like
oh,
sharing what you're
absolutely.
doing with Tech Team Advantage? All the
Yeah.
hype in the chat for this.
Yeah. So I am going to go start talking about my stories here. But the first part of that I want to make is a really big claim. This claim is that I have a ministry that you guys can be involved in praying about and partnering with me. It will have a global impact for many people, but also for yourself in participating in it. We have some examples in scripture of how being involved in ministry is very beneficial for ourselves. Philippians 4:17, Paul was talking to the Philippian church, and he speaks of being really excited not about their gifts to him, but about what is credited to that church for participating in his ministry. And then if you look at Matthew 10, when he sends the disciples, he sends them out with nothing so that they will be dependent on the people that they minister to. And then if you get down to the bottom of Matthew 10, you get to see that Jesus says that people are worthy of the rewards of participating in people's ministry, be that prophecy is the first one there, and that goes all the way down to providing a cup of water for someone in the Lord's name. Um, that there are rewards in that participation. For me, the beginning of seeing those rewards was the verse for where your heart is, there your where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And learning that I could invest my treasure somewhere to control where my heart was going. And investing in ministries helped a lot with that. So I have some stories I want to share with you. I'm going to start doing that now. So Bernie Wiley, he learned a great secret. He was the child of pastors, and this meant that many missionaries were staying in his home while they visited his church. He learned that as long as he engaged these pastors with lots and lots of questions, his bedtime after having abused this loophole over and over again, with the burst of passion within Bernie to meet the needs that these missionaries were expressing to him. And so, following his life motto that only what is done in Christ will last, he formed Missionary Tech Team in 1969, and he served as our president for the next 47 years. Today, we're still trying to meet the same need. Other missionaries and other Christians and churches needs through things like architecture, um, graphic design, websites, housing, vehicles. My personal role at Tech Team is as a software engineer. Many missionaries have really great ideas for how technology could be applied to their mission field, but very often these ideas die on the vine. It's really hard to go to an investment firm or a development company and express your great idea when your return is in souls. Um, so my job is to help missionaries and other ministries dream into scale of technology. One of the projects that came to us was from a missionary named Robin. She's a missionary with Tyndale Bible Translators. And she inherited a project from some Cedarville University students. And they had built an application that had a 5-step process for translating audio Bibles. The idea here is that they would get a bilingual individual in a small language group that did not have the Bible and very likely didn't have a written language there. As long as they knew a trade language, they would take that person out to a workshop and they would give them this phone app and train them how to use it. This phone app steps people through exegetical information about a story, Bible story, and then gives them the tools to narrate that into a recording and then pass that recording around to have it accuracy checked to make sure that they're still telling the same story. And then they would have a pathway to go through for distributing that story. When she came to us, she wanted us to take over ownership of the development of that software and then add a few more steps to it. The result for that was Storybook Publisher Advanced, and that's now been used in 19 countries to translate Bible stories into languages that have never had them before. This has been so successful that Robin came back to us, wanting us to make a more beefy version of this that we call Honeybee. And Honeybee has been used, or is just now starting to get used. It's different from the other one in that it focuses on non-narrative parts of scripture. So Romans doesn't have a story, so it needs to be handled differently. And so our app has tooling for that. Um, she reported from the field that the people that she's working with are in desperate need and excitement for these tools. So we're loving to see those go out. I really like the story of Peter walking on water, and I have a story from my life that reminds me of this one. Um, I had a boat. It wasn't a literal boat, but my boat was my job. Um, I had a job in Oklahoma City building websites, and I loved it. Never planned to go do anything else. It's a humongous blessing when you can wake up in the morning and want to go to work, and I had never experienced that before this job. So I was just really happy with it. But about 9 years in, about 2 years ago now, I was starting to experience a little bit of discontent. And my father, my dad, convinced me that this sort of discontent is often the Lord moving us on to the next thing. But I had no idea what the next thing was. The only thing that mattered as much to me as my job was my newfound pursuit of prayer. Through praying about it, the only thing that made any sense to me was to go into ministry with the same skills. But I really didn't want to do this. I really liked my job. So I came up with a really grand plan. I was going to try really hard and fail really fast. And then I could hold up my diploma of failed at missions and deflect the Lord's call on my life. And so I could climb back in my comfortable boat and go on with life. Um, I highly recommend not playing these sorts of games with the Lord. He usually wins. No sooner had I let my parents know that I was going to explore ministry opportunities in technology that, yeah, he sunk my boat behind me. It turns out that the company that I was working for no longer was doing enough business after COVID to keep me employed. And since it was a family owned business and I was the least associated with the family, I had to be the first to go. I still have a good relationship with them, but I am not employed there. But that's when the Lord came through for me. He provided me a temporary job for the men's group at the church I had just started attending. Um, and then as I began looking for ministry opportunities, all the ones I expected to find were closed. I couldn't work for my parents' mission. They didn't have anything, and Samaritan's Purse didn't have anything for me. But when I remembered this small mission that helped us with a house when I was growing up with as a missionary kid, I reached out to the missionary tech team, and it was 2 days after they had tapped their entire prayer network to ask for software engineers, and 2 weeks before they had the board meeting that they needed to confirm new missionaries. So I set a new record for tech team of to being accepted. So yeah, it's been really fun to see the Lord orchestrate and build this path for me. I mentioned there a little bit that I was a missionary kid. When you're a missionary kid, you grow up around titans of faith. Even to get to the mission field, they've had to learn to rely on the Lord. It's really easy to just accept that and go on with life because everybody around you believes that. But I, like many missionary kids, struggled with that. And after years and years of slowly bailing the faith out of my religious boat, it was about to sink. I remember telling the Lord he had one more chance to make this religious thing work in my life or I was out. And that's when he took me to John 6:66, which I'm not great at remembering references, but this one's easy because it's got the number of the beast in it. And that's usually fascinating to anybody who's disillusioned with religion. But this is actually the story where Jesus' disciples are walking away from him, and he turns to the last 12 and asks if they're going to go as well. And Peter's response was really profound to me. He said, "Where else will we go? You have the words of eternal life, and we have come to believe that you are the Holy One of God." And that was really what I needed to hear because I knew the way I wanted to live life wasn't leading to life and certainly not what I needed to hear to give the Lord another chance in my life. And after several years, my heart had recovered to the point where Matthew 6:21, I believe it is, land it for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And that launched me into ministry within my church, and then within my next church, and then with this ministry now. So God has given us all spiritual gifts um, to use within the church. And one of my gifts is generosity. The Lord uses these to speak to us in interesting ways, and He's used my gift to speak to me in some interesting ways. One of the scariest things for me in stepping into ministry is that missionaries don't have a lot of money, which meant my generosity habits were going to have to come to a screeching halt. And I wasn't comfortable with that. But the Lord had a special way to let me know that He was in this shift of priority. I have a friend whose parents work outside of the home, and their dad had a major medical emergency while he was away from the house. And my immediate response was to figure out how to provide flights and transportation to get the family out there to visit him. Um, Turned out that wasn't needed, and they turned me down on providing those flights. But they were the very first family to join my support team when I headed out on this ministry. Be quoting that because I was willing to be there in their time of need, they wanted to be part of my ministry. So, Lord uses spiritual gifts in our lives in really cool ways. I wanted to share a little bit more about what Tech Team does, some of the other projects that specifically software is working on. I already talked about the Bible translation app. One of the other things we do is we work with the Mailbox Club. We provide all of their software. If you haven't heard of the Mailbox Club, they're the biggest Bible um, training correspondence class organization. So they distribute Bible studies and then work students through a entire education in the Bible. If you're familiar with the Child Evangelical Fellowship, our CEF, um, they use the Mailbox Club to mail out most of their resources. So we provide the Mailbox Club the resources to keep track of where their students are in the process, what they need to print next, how their inventory is managed. We're also working with 100 church network in Uganda. They have need of figuring out where their churches are, um, like geolocation for their churches, what services each of those are providing. Like we're doing baptisms on Tuesday. We have discipleship class in November. We do communion these days of the week. All of these things that help the church communicate together, the church network. And our app allows them to do that when they're not online because the internet is not great there, and the navigation systems available are also not great. So we're providing them tools for that. And so these are just really big needs, and the tech team has a problem in meeting these needs, in that we're getting pretty old as an organization. The software development team is currently 2 people. One of them has gone to halftime, and the other one would like to be able to do that within the next 6 or so years. So there's a really urgent need for somebody like me to step in there with as much overlap as possible so that I can learn more and more about the things that they are doing before they can't do them anymore. And I can't do that unless somebody like you guys send me. Um, well, I told you a little while ago that the Lord provided a temporary job for me, and while during this interview, during this transitional phase, what I didn't mention is that that job actually paid me the same amount as my old job. And so there was a little while there where I thought maybe that's where the Lord was guiding me. But He had another special way to get me back on track and to remind me He was the boss that I should be following. So this temporary job was to polish semi trucks. The most physical thing I have done as a software engineer in years. And I had committed my time to guy from my men's group and church, and so there I was up on this scaffolding, pouring my heart and soul into the paint on the back of this semi truck trailer, and my back started hurting. I have scoliosis, and so if I stress my back in the wrong way, it hurts really bad and leaves me in bed for often several days. So here I am on the back of this on the scaffolding, and my back starts hurting, and I'm sitting there going, "Lord, I've committed my time to this man that I'm just gotten to know. I really, really don't want to let him down. Can you do something about this pain?" And he didn't do anything right away. And I'm like, "Well, Are you listening to me? And as soon as I got off the scaffolding, the pain was gone, and I was really quite surprised. My back is not all the way better. It's not, it still bothers me a lot, but in that moment, I was able to work another 6 hours of the most strenuous work I had done in 15 years, without any pain. And it was just really cool on the drive home, being able to celebrate with the Lord that he listened, that he cared what was going on in my life. It was just a real confirmation moment that, there are many bosses in the world and they're great people, but, he's the best one. Um, so those are the stories I wanted to share with you about my ministry and my journey into it. Um, I am in desperate need of people to partner with me in this ministry. I need about $4,000 a month to do this, and I am at about 1,600 of that, so about just nearing 40%, not quite there. But I want to talk a little bit about what I mean by partnership because I think we get that pretty messed up sometimes. There's three things that I'd like to promise to anybody who will partner with me in exchange for three things. Um, the first thing is that I would commit to being your hands and feet. The idea of supporting somebody in ministry is that they're doing something that you can't necessarily do, but in supporting it, you're able to take ownership of it. I would be your hands and feet in ministry. The second thing I would like to commit to is that I will be praying for anybody who partners with me. And the third thing is that I would commit to communicating regularly. In exchange for that, I'm asking for three really important things. I desperately need your prayer. Every time you invest yourself in ministry and in trying to spread the gospel, the enemy comes at that. And so there's desperate need for prayer coverage. The second thing that I would ask for is monthly financial donations. I hate talking about them, but they are important. And the third thing is that there are people within your sphere of influence that I will never meet. And it's my hope that if any of these stories had an impact on you, if they made you think, that you might be willing to share them with somebody else. We, I encourage that more because it helps you guys learn to share stories. And if you guys will learn to share stories, it's very possible that you may end up sharing your own stories. And the only thing more important than helping me in ministry is you ending up in ministry yourself. And that often starts with being willing to share your own stories, which often starts with being able to share mine. So it is my hope that you guys could commit to something like that. If there are any of you that are interested in that, I think there's links in the chat for how you can get a hold of me. You can sign up for my newsletter through that link. Yeah, so those are the things that I wanted to share. Do you guys have any questions? Love to answer questions.
Oh, I just popped just me up on the page. That was scary. I didn't want to be up there all alone.
You're up here all alone all the time.
Oh, stop
I'm
it.
the one that's usually hiding behind screens.
I do have a question. I don't know if anybody in the chat with us today has questions, so please do put those in the chat if you have a question for Dirain, aka Jesse. Um, my question has to do with, so I know that you are around 44-ish% funded. And that's an estimate, obviously, because fundraising isn't an exact science. Uh,
Sad.
with that being said, how much do you currently get to volunteer and work with Tech Team Advantage in comparison to how you will be able to work with Tech Team Advantage once you're 100% fundraised?
Yeah, so I am aiming at a 50-50 split this year. I can't really fund a 50-50 split, but I find that the more involved I am in what tech team's doing, the more I'm able to talk about it and the more my fundraising actually works. So yeah, I'm
Yep.
aiming at a 50-50 split right now.
Okay.
Um, And being funded at 100% means that I can actually do that without begging money off my parents. That's pretty important to me, at least.
Yep.
Currently, I'm living in my parents' house and keep on having to
Hmm.
use their resources, which if any of you guys are doing that, it feels really, really bad. So, yeah, being fully funded means that I can do this ministry without being a burden on the people who care about me.
Right. Corey wants to know if you would shave your beard for the rest of the money. I don't
If
know if
you
I
will pay me the
misunderstood
rest
that
of the money, I will
question.
save my beer on stream. But I mean, yeah, that's $4,000 a month. If you can commit to that, beer's gone.
They might hold you to that. But on a
It's worth
on a
it.
serious note, why is this ministry so important to you? Like, why are you passionate about it? Not like why is Tech Team Advantage passionate about it? Why are you passionate about it?
I'm passionate about it because I have learned that where I put my heart really affects my relationship with the Lord. And when I can invest in ministry, that just changes my whole outlook on life.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've had a really interesting year in that I've been more sick than I've been in my life. I had 3 months where I basically didn't leave bed and I don't have any money. And that's really weird for me, having been fairly well funded with a decent job and decent health for most of my life. And yet, when I hit the end of the year, I had this just massive revelation that I had had the most fulfilling year of my life. And it didn't make any sense. I couldn't look at anything that was going on and say, this is better than it was. Everything was worse than it was a year ago in technical terms and anything that I
Mm-hmm.
could earthly measure. And yet I would never have traded that year for anything. It is the most enjoyable year that I've experienced.
Hmm. So you would say that the
How does that make any
blessings,
sense? That's just the Lord.
yeah, you would say the blessings definitely outweigh the struggle along the way.
Oh, unquestionably. Having
Yeah.
purpose. It is hard to find purpose sometimes, especially when life is really busy. But when the Lord gives you purpose, it's just one of the most amazing things. Um,
Yeah.
I if any of you guys are considering ministry, jump jump off that boat.
Right. Agreed. And you
If
wouldn't
you
trade it for a
might
Klondike bar, right?
say that again.
You wouldn't trade it for a Klondike bar. Corey's asking.
No,
Okay,
no Klondike bars.
just checking. More importantly, Valerian says, "Who did you say that Tech Team Advantage's software is mostly for?" If I'm understanding right, it's for basically anybody that reaches out to Tech Team Advantage and that Tech Team Advantage partners with, correct? Or is there something more specific?
It's close to that. It's slightly more complicated in that anybody we're going to work with has to go through a vetting process.
Okay.
Tech team does ensure that they are a like-minded organization.
Mm.
Um, and I am not involved in that process, so I can't tell you what questions they ask or how they do that. But we won't work for everybody, but
Right.
pretty much any ministry or any church that has a need, um, we'll build. We won't build buildings, but we'll do the architectural plans for you.
Okay.
Um, we will build your website. We will print your material. We will make posters for you. We will cover the walls of your church with great designs. Um, we will provide vehicles for ministry needs. We'll house you if you're anywhere that we have a house that we can do that. Yeah, that's our heart to make other ministries succeed in
Mm-hmm.
any way that they can't handle in house. Um, I know we'd like to expand into other things, and the only thing stopping us from expanding into things is missionaries willing to work with us.
Right.
I know we've been bouncing around the idea of opening up a finance thing to help people with budgeting and handling their money, but we don't have somebody to run that.
So, will you put pineapple on pizza and force Boz to eat it?
Uh, no,
I had
I
to
won't.
try to ask that with a straight face.
I will eat that pizza. It won't make it to him. I may intend to. I'll be halfway down the road and I'll be gone.
Leave it to Corey to ask all the silliest questions. Oh man, is Boz live even? Anyways, I often check that. I'm like, is Boz
He
live? I
is
want to say
actually.
hi. Is he really? Or is he just like doing his little Final Fantasy bot thing?
I couldn't tell you.
You
I'm
couldn't
not.
tell me. I'm gonna look.
I cannot divide my attention that many times.
I just did. He's not live. Bummer. Okay. Anyways, I was gonna say if he's live, we should raid him. That would be fun.
Did chat have any non-silly questions? Silly questions are great.
Corey asks, is there an email where he can send a donation from time to time?
Yeah, if you go to that link, there is a spot for that.
Let me put the link in the chat for you again, Corey. Just go here. And I believe that will answer all your needs as far as that goes. And you said there's a newsletter you can sign up for there for prayer partners, right? So it's this
Yeah, the
link
first
isn't
thing you
just
can do
for
is
just doesn't isn't just for financial support, it's also for prayer support.
yes, definitely. And I would say that's actually more important. The Lord is not short on resources, believe it or not. He will find those. But prayer seems to be the way that He operates in this world. And so that's just super critical to me.
Yeah.
Um, I love knowing that people pray for me, and I think it makes a difference.
Yep. And to be fair, money does make a difference too. Um, but
Yes.
the prayer backs the money. So, you know, without it, like we can't do ministry. So yeah. Any other questions from my friends here in the chat? Desert or Simcha or any or River, who's probably famously lurking since he's an expert at that. So, any other questions?
The irony of getting famous for lurking.
You're getting famous for lurking? Who do you
The
lurk?
irony of getting the irony of getting famous for lurking.
Mm.
I am not. This is not
uh,
lurk, by the way.
yep. Oh, and here's a question. Probably, yeah. Desert's just going to the website to find answers to his question. Of course, Desert probably has your Discord, and he can just message you if he has more questions. To be fair, he could probably just go do 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 do, and then he has
That is
direct
fair.
access.
I will answer all questions on Discord.
Yep. Oh, I had a thought and it ran away. Desert
All
distracted
questions
me.
is slight exaggeration. There probably are some questions I will not answer.
All right, let's find all the questions that Dirain would not answer. I did have a thought of something I wanted to ask, and now it's gone. I thought it was important. It must not have been that important.
You also have my Discord.
I also have your Discord, but I felt like it was a question that would benefit everybody. This is sad. Can you guys in the chat just read my mind and put the thought back into my head, please?
The
Oh,
elevator music block.
true story though. So, Bunny, I was at work yesterday and I started humming Rescue by Lauren Daigle. Okay? I have to do this a lot at work right now because it can be a little stressful right now, just being honest. So I'm just humming away, and Naira, my coworker, is like, "What are you humming?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. It's something. It's a song by Lauren Daigle. I'm not good with the names of songs." And she says, "Really? I was just listening to that in my ear. Are you reading my mind?" Oh, anyways, hopefully God was at work there. Valerian says, just curious, what kind of websites has Tech Team Advantage missionaries been requesting? What kind of websites have the missionaries been requesting of Tech Team Advantage? I think is what Valerian's asking.
That is a really great question that I don't actually have the answer for because we have websites and software split in our organization, and websites are part of what media does, which means I'm not doing that. And I don't actually know. But I do know that we do a lot of them for churches and we do them for one off ministries. We do some, I know we do software for some camps around the country, like that children will go to summer, have their Bible summer camp.
Mm,
So we do websites for a couple of those. But I am one step removed from that process, even though that is my experience within industry. Um,
because
not what I'm doing right now.
because you're more on the back end of doing the programming part.
Yeah, we're doing software is responsible for phone apps, applications that run on the computer, um, running servers. We also do all of our IT and stuff like that.
Corey's from Canada. He just helped me. He just helped me remember what my question was. So I know that you are doing a little bit of traveling here and there, um, kind of thing. Are you open to visiting some of these wonderful people across the U.S. if they're in a vicinity kind of close to where you're headed?
Um, Absolutely. I don't know how well that would work on my next trip because it's mostly planned.
Right.
But if you happen to be close, I can certainly stop it for lunch. Um,
Awesome.
my next trip is to Winnipeg and then Vancouver and driving through Canada to get there. So Winnipeg and then somewhere in British Columbia that I'm trying to line up to visit Tonic, if you guys know him.
Hey,
Some of you
Tonic.
do, and then Washington and Oregon, and then California, and then Idaho, and then Colorado, and then Kansas, and then Kentucky, and then home.
So if you're anywhere near any of those spots, you might message and see if you can get a in-face meetup. Jesse is the one and only person that does not live in my hometown that I have met in person. So he has that special privilege. One day there will be more. That's my prayer.
Are you going to come up to Washington while I'm there?
Me?
Yeah,
Oh, I wish. See,
you got to get all the whole entire band together in Washington,
oh goodness, it was the
right on the
plan. It
border.
was the plan for this year, and then life happened. Uh, the job
Tell life
went.
to quit.
Yeah, I know. The job went south. I got a new job. The PTO situation with this new job's not that great. Um, but it's also perfect timing for, like I mentioned earlier, the dermatologist appointment that we need to get taken care of here in April, and whatever else God might have us go through that could be hard. But we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, it was in the plans. But God has a plan for something. I know He
Yeah,
does.
Corey,
I know He does.
send me a message. Sorry, I thought you were done talking. I talked right over you.
You good? Yes, He sent you an email. It says,
All right, we'll talk.
yeah, 8 hours from Winnipeg is where you're at. That's a little trek, man. You need to move closer.
What if you're between Winnipeg and British Columbia, wherever I'm going there, I will certainly stop for lunch or something.
Canada's a big
The
place.
other direction, I'm afraid that I'm not going the other direction.
Newsletter didn't like your email? What? What's wrong with your email, Valerian? He's in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Is where Corey's at. He says maybe next time. Anyways, all right. Well, you fixed it? You fixed your email or you fixed your newsletter? I don't I
You
don't I
fixed
don't
the
even know
website.
what got fixed. What got fixed? Uh
We just
I'll-
need to get you on the team if you can fix the website from there.
hey, Valerian's the genius with spreadsheets and programming of the sorts to make his business work. At least that's what I understand.
You should just come join us.
And he's going
You
to
can
like
work
reply
remotely from
back.
there.
he's
First,
gonna
now you have to travel around. I'm doing.
he's gonna reply back to me saying he's a genius to be like, you see, just right there. I knew it, not a genius. He is a genius. Don't let him kid you. Don't let him kid you. I'm not done. Okay, no. I'm getting
I get
ready to be done,
hilarious
but
while I'm
not
out
yet.
there too. I hope.
Have a seat, buddy. Have a seat. I'm almost done. Okay. It's getting close to bedtime, Sugar Bear. Oh, it's Quiz King. He was lurking this entire time. Good old Quiz King. I love him. We're gonna do a not this Saturday, but the next Saturday. We're gonna try to play Deceased Craft in Minecraft, run from zombies and stuff. So that's gonna be fun.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay.
You remembered to lurk. It's his bedtime. He stayed up for you, Jesse.
I am so appreciative of you guys showing up at all. I don't think I'm a attraction, so super super appreciated.
Yep. Make Dirain join us in Minecraft. I don't know. I don't know if he has a computer that can do knotted like Quiz King and I. Make Valerian join us. That's what I think. I'd be like Valerian's gonna run from
You need to be
zombies.
convinced to play Minecraft someday. My gaming has almost completely died on the. Yeah, it's just very little. I'm playing a little bit of Slay the Spire 2 with some friends because it's got
Mm,
co-op in it.
nice.
That's about it.
Corey says bedtimes for the week. Quiz King, take notes. Take notes. Yeah, but for real, he's going to bed shortly. Valerian's computer melts on heavily modded Minecraft servers. This is also true. We've
Computers
been
are bad at though.
begging Valerian to get a non-Mac like desktop PC for ages, but he just loves his little Mac laptop.
That's what I'm on right now.
Hmm. We're gonna change that someday. I'm not really making fun of Mac though. Mac's good, but Windows flexible. I love Windows. Oh, you were close? But yeah, I know the RAM prices have gone through the roof. I was oh man. It's killer. It's killer. Okay, don't touch. Don't touch mommy's computer. Yeah. All right, friends.
Does
So
it cost more to get RAM or more to get gas to get to the RAM?
it costs more to get RAM than to buy a computer. That's the thing. That is the thing. Huh? Okay. Well, let's see who we can raid tonight. Just say hi. You don't have to stay long, but I'd love to say hi to somebody. Ooh, we got Zafanef Pania. That one looks like a good one. This guy reads Bible on stream, but currently it looks like he's playing some Minecraft. I think that might be who we need to raid. Is Zaf Anath Pania. Isn't that a mouthful? But I've been getting to know him a little bit, like a wee bit. So let's give Zafanef Pania a raid. Just say hi, even if you can't stay. Show some kindness, show some love to a fellow streamer that plays Minecraft and other things, and reads the Bible while he streams. Does Dirain stream ever? Dirain, do you stream?
I don't currently stream. I am probably going to at least try to stream my work once I'm more full-time doing that. I've been considering it, doing a work stream.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
Yep. All right. I'm going to start the of our ability to raid, and you got one more chance to get some questions in, guys. If you got any questions, the stream is going away. So a soothing coding stream, Valerian says. And this is not Minecraft they were playing. It just looked
Very
like
soothing.
Minecraft. They're playing. What is this? Don't know. Oh, it's a sleep stream. I don't want to do this. Back. We want to go to somebody live. Whoops.
You like that painting? It's one of my parents' paintings.
I don't want to raid a sleep stream. I want to raid somebody else. Let's raid. Could raid.
It's an old lady working in a rice field.
Old lady working in a rice field?
The
Oh,
picture on my wall.
it's caffeine-free tea, Corey. Caffeine-free tea. I don't know what this guy's streaming, but let's raid Joker in a vest. I know he seems like a cool dude. Joker in a vest. So we'll start that. And again, if you have any more questions, you better ask fast. Bum bum bum. You don't know what tea is, Corey? I know what tea is. All right. We are gonna raid in when are you and Luke? You had to like just interrupt me. When are you and Luke gonna do a coach stream? What's a coach stream? Yep, we do appreciate you, Dirain. And again, put exclamation point Dirain in the chat if you want to support him in any way. If you haven't done that yet. All right, we're gonna raid in 3, 2, and 1. Go say hi. All right. And let's close this stream out.